What is up, everybody, and welcome to this video. Today we're going to show you how to create AI written emails with your KVCore and have it all be automated, so stay tuned. And welcome back to API Explorers. Haven't dropped the video in some time. I'm super excited to be doing this one today about KVCore and how to send AI written emails. Yes, I said that, AI written emails. We're going to show you a step-by-step and how to do this. And let's get started. So diving right in, we're going to head over to our marketing section and we're going to go into our smart campaigns. Once you're in here, you're going to see all of your campaigns of which you have created and have active and don't have active but have created. And you're going to select the campaign that you actually want to do this from. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to actually do this from a new lead buyer campaign. So we're going to go into new lead buyer. And then you're going to click this add action button over here off to the right. So this is already going to be adding this action to a pre-existing campaign that you already have. So what we're going to select is you're going to select Zapier. It's going to give you a Zap ID. Yes, a Zap ID. We're going to use Zapier to actually complete this. It isn't a native integration in KVCore yet, but that is a great feature request for you KVCore guys out there watching this video. Go ahead and put this into your feature requests roadmap. Get this built. This is a game changer. So, continuing. The Zap ID, what we're going to do is go ahead and copy that. You'll want to give this a name, and you'll also want to give this Zap name, and you'll also then want to go ahead and select a time value of which you want this to run when this campaign begins. So you could select things like run immediately. You could also select things like run in 5 minutes from the time of registration or campaign beginning, or you could select days, right? In this scenario, I actually selected run immediately. Now, once you have that all defined, be sure you copied this ID. You're going to go ahead and click on copy. And then inside of Zapier, let's go ahead and create a Zap. You'll want to give this a name, and we could say something like API Explorers AI written emails. And then what we're going to want to do is go ahead and find our app labeled KVCore. You'll select the event labeled as campaign action, and then you'll go ahead and click on continue. Now I'm going to select my KVCore account here, and we're then going to go ahead and click on continue. And in the campaign Zap ID, you'll go ahead and simply paste that ID, and that will get written into here. Now once you click off, it'll populate it. You can go ahead and click continue, and we'll go ahead and test this trigger. Once this gives me an example lead or a test lead, which we see here, we have all of the details or all of the points of which it's going to actually give to us, right? So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and click on continue. My next action that I'm going to set up is if you just type in capital OPEN, you'll find OpenAI GPT. Now, you'll want to have created an account or already logged in, and you'll want to have gone into openai.com and created a platform login, not ChatGPT. This is a side note. This is OpenAI, the creators and founders of ChatGPT, because we're going to use their backend inside of Zapier, and Zapier has some very detailed instructions on how to create that and how to connect it. So what we're going to do is our event is going to be a send prompt event, right? We'll go ahead and click on continue. We'll continue from here. That has my account selected already. And then in my model, I'm going to use Text DaVinci 3. Now the reason why I'm using this is because it's the most popular. It's got the most AI language already built into it with data backing it, and it's faster, right? So it's a low cost, faster model that you could use on OpenAI's dashboard in order to create these responses. Now in the prompt, we're going to want to say, write me an email starting with, and you'll select your variable first name. This lead is a buyer who just started their home search, and you'll type in your website here, so you'll go something like this. And it's very important to be as descriptive as possible, because if not, you're going to get some really wild responses going out, and you want to make sure that you include everything you need to have to be compliant. So we're going to include our website there. You could say Ernest is currently located in, and this has their IP address, right, or their IP location, and came to my website from, and you could select options like URL or previous, previous URL, right? So there you go. The source, Facebook, Google, wherever it might have been that they came from. And then you want to make sure you add this statement to the end of this. Sign the email with Ernest Enriquez, broker associate. See, sorry, I can't spell there. EXP Realty. You can contact me at, and hopefully I don't get a bunch of phone calls for this, but you could email me at here. Now, this is not only the first crucial step in making sure that this gets set up properly, you also want to look at temperature. Temperature is just basically giving the OpenAI system the ability to know whether it should have something far-fetched or it should be something more fine-tuned. So the higher the value, the more risk you take in this thing delivering a joke back to somebody. And the lower that temperature, the more defined and more creative it will be towards your prompt, right? So that means it's going to kind of stick to your prompt lines. It's not going to get away from it, tell it a joke or anything like that. Maximum length, these are number of tokens. Think of tokens as characters. These are basically how long you would want this. Now, it's important to note that OpenAI and ChatGPT all cost money. So if you don't want to procure high bills, keep these links low. 1,500 characters, 2,500 characters. It's about 0.001 cents per character on the TextDaVinci 3 model. So just do keep that in mind, and that's per 1,000, right? So if you have 15,000 characters, it's only going to be like $1.20 or something like that. It's crazy. But anywho, I regress. So we're going to go ahead and put our top P here. This is your top presence or top sampling. This is similar to temperature, but a little bit different because this just considers the top priority responses that ChatGPT has in its database currently, right? So this is going to look at all the responses and it's going to give you the priority or the top priority ones, the top 10%. Now, frequency penalty, this is basically just going to penalize the system if it creates similar or like characters. What that means is that positive values penalize tokens against existing frequencies. So if you get redundancy in your description, it's going to penalize OpenAI versus penalizing you as the user. So you want to make sure that you actually use these. And I leave these usually at like 1.0, somewhere in the middle, and also presence penalty. Similar to frequency penalty, just a little bit different. So this is looking at whether or not the text appears so far already. So if it's in the first sentence, try not to use it in the second sentence. If it's in the third sentence, try not to use it in the fourth sentence, and so forth. So you don't get those redundancies, right? So we're going to go ahead and click continue, and then we're going to go ahead and test this action. And this is going to give me a response here, right? So now I'll be able to see my response here in a second, and it's running a little bit slow probably because I'm on this webinar here. But in a moment, I'll have a response that I can then use. There we go. You see how it did that? I could go ahead and use this response to basically, and see how it included the subject. So what I'm going to do is actually not include the subject. I'm going to tell the system to not, do not create an email subject. So we'll do this again. I don't want that email subject because I want something a little bit more creative. So I'm going to actually add another action with this prompt that I'm creating now to go ahead and create an email subject that includes emojis and is more creative and engaging. So once this creates or populates, we'll go ahead and do that. So there we go. So there's our email. Perfect. Then we're going to go ahead and choose another step. This second step will be OpenAI again. Again, same model, same everything. So we'll say send prompt is my action. And then we'll go ahead and in the prompt model here, we'll go ahead and say TextDaVinci 3. Now, my prompt is different, right? Because I'm going to say write me an email subject for the following prompt. And then you'll space, and then you'll click on OpenAI, and you'll select your choices there. And then you could say include emojis, right? If you want. I like emojis. I find that they drive more engagement. People are more open to them. They like the little funny faces and so forth. But we'll dial down the temperature a little bit. And then also in max length, I don't want this longer than 100 characters. So we'll go ahead and dial that down. Again, frequency penalty. Don't really have to worry about this too much because this should be a single sentence for your email subject. And we'll go ahead and click on continue, and we'll go ahead and test this action. Now, once I do that, we'll then see our subject there, right? And maybe tell the system to do not include the word subject. Right, so that it removes it. You got to be very, very particular with ChatGPT and OpenAI because, again, they're going to just, they want you to do this manually. We're automating this to make it a little bit more creative and easier for you as an agent, right? So let's find your dream home. Perfect. Now, my last step here is to go ahead and create a Gmail. So we're going to go into Gmail, and we're going to go choose an event, and this event is send an email. We'll go ahead and click continue, and we'll select our real estate email there, and then we'll click continue. Now the to section, we'll use the first option there. For KVCore, we'll insert the lead's email address. You could also CC or BC yourself in. Your from will be your email address, and then your from name, I usually do something like this, right, where we put all of our stuff in there, and it just looks a little bit nicer. Now, I do this as well because when you put a from name like this, you're less likely to end up in spam. So, versus if you have like .exprealty.com or whatever it might be, it looks more like promotional stuff, and I'm going to show you how it looks here in a second. So, reply to, I'll usually use my EXP email address here, and then in the subject, you'll select the third prompt there, or third action there, and we'll select this. And then in my body, I'll just go ahead and select from my prompt. There we go. Signature, I'll attach that from the one that's already created. And just for testing purposes, because I want to show you all this, I'm actually going to enter in an email address here. Right, and let's put in my email there. And let's go ahead and fire off a test. So we'll go ahead and test this. Now, this is going to say me because it recognizes that it's coming from me, but there it is. Right? So you can see there's the email subject, dear test, hope this finds you well. See how it signs me off there. It even includes my signature. But that is super cool. Now all I got to do is go ahead and turn this on, make it active, and this, guys, is going to start writing AI written emails as my initial email that goes out to the buyers. Hopefully you found this video useful. Like always, smash the subscribe button and click like on this video. Share it with all your friends. Get this out there. Let them know you know how to write AI written emails now. Have a great day, everybody.